Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about civilization gear. This is a requested video from one of my Alliance members. It is a very delicate topic because there are quite a few civilization gear to choose from, and when you have the opportunity to get one, you really have to be certain as to what you want to get. So I don't know if people are just having the chests in their inventory and don't know what to get, or if they've gotten civilization gear and now are unhappy. So hopefully this guide will help a little bit more with making the right decision beforehand. And honestly, I really want to encourage you guys to utilize the library on the C5 Discord. This is really where I get a lot of my information from. This is where I learn a lot of things. Also where I have just so much resources to choose from in order to help me build my keep the best way possible. Or hopefully the best way possible, right? So if you have Discord, make sure you are part of the C5 Discord server. This is really pretty much the world chat of the entirety of Evony across all the servers. So there's so much information you can get from. You can chit chat with other people, but honestly the most valuable item on this in this entire inventory here is the library, and this is stuff that people create and share with the entire community. The library is set up really nicely with these big tabs that categorizes everything that you can think of in Evony. Just in general info, tips and tricks, new event guides, civ gear, refines, all things gear, buffs breakdown, all-stars, cav or mounted generals, coining guide, ground generals, monster stamina and monster marches, attack march composition, layering, speed and size, everything PvP, account management, archer generals, echelons, troop training resources, siege generals, battlefield frequently asked questions, buildings, requirements and resources, wall, sup and duty generals, dragons and mythical bestials, all things academy. I kind of listed everything now just to show you what is available in this entirety of the library. It's amazing. So I just don't want you guys to miss out on this. I have over and over encouraged my alliance to become part of the C5 Discord server and make use of the library. And I think some of them did start using it. Others I still don't know. So I just want to share it with all of you guys. Now going to the civilization gear, because that is the topic of the video. So when you open it on your computer, it does open it on the side. If you open it on your phone, it just opens the entire window on top of the tabs here. Okay, so I'm kind of scrolled all the way down. Let's go all the way up. And I'm not covering everything here, but this is going to be the spreadsheet I'm going to talking alongside with. And you can get this spreadsheet for yourself by just clicking on this link. It is a Google Doc, and the author is unknown, so thank you very much, unknown author, for sharing this, for setting this up for all of us. And it has helped me tons. Hopefully it does help others as well. So I'm going to talk alongside this. There's another one that is very similar, also very well done, and I can show that as well, just that screenshot that they're sharing. This one I'm not quite certain what this is all about. You can look at everything yourself. This is percents or flat comparison. Okay, so just the setup's so well done. You have kind of an explanation here, then the actual doc that you can use, and then a screenshot that you can open to see what it's all about before you download or before you open the Google Doc. So yeah, this you can look for yourself. We're not going to talk about that. Just other stuff, right? But it does tell you ahead of time what it's all about. And then you can go from there. Percents or flats for siege marches. That's kind of nice to look into. So yeah, I'm just scrolling all the way through. Is this one? Yeah, so this is the other spreadsheet that I was mentioning is really well done. The author is Sear. He's, oh, look at him, it says he shared it with us. It's very similar to the other one that I'm going to be sharing or talking alongside with. You can compare two different sets that you have or that you want and compare their makeup of their buffs right here. You can select, let's say for the strawberry set, right? You can select the ones that you have. Let's say you have the Plantagenet weapon, Sassanian, I don't even know what that is. Oh, here, chest piece. Look at these guys. Thanks, here. That's kind of funny. Freedom boots, Sassanian helmet, Freedom pants, and then Plantagenet ring. So this is what you're choosing. You can even set the stars, how many stars it has. Civilization gear is gear that you can amplify, so you can give it more than the 5 yellow stars. There's even the stars added right here, so it actually is a little more in depth than the spreadsheet that I'm going to be working with you guys. I do have this spreadsheet as well, but I think for the very basics of figuring out what gear you want, the other spreadsheet might be a little better, but I would probably recommend getting both of those because this one is a little more detailed, a little more in depth, and you can make use of the stars option right here too if you have that. And yeah, I don't know, you can figure it out for yourself. Then for the Kiwi, you can select other gear that you may have heard was better or you have looked at and want to compare it to the gear that you have, see what buffs you're getting out of. So you can look into this. All right, so I think this is very similar. And here you can see a comparison. Choreo versus Augustus. I think this is for defense, because Choreo is the gear that most are using, and then I know that Augustus has debuffs, so you can look at that. But you see the summary of the buffs right here. So these spreadsheets are very nicely done. Let's see what this is all about. Non-Choreo option for wall general. Author is as well Sear, that's his spreadsheet. And then has multiple examples, so you can look into this for yourself. Let's get into the spreadsheet. So yeah, make sure you become part of the C5 Discord. It's really just the world shot of all of Evony. So here we have the spreadsheet that I was talking about. When you click on the link in Discord, you get to something that looks very similar to this. The only thing that you need to do is go into File and make copy. That's when you can start working with it. That's when you can start manipulating it. That's when it becomes yours, so to speak. So now we're here. The way that this is set up is That's why it's really nice to start out with this when you first want to look into what civilization gear you want to get. When you first download it, this is what you get. You get an archer setup, mounted setup, ground setup, and a siege setup, as well as a wall setup. And the way that this is set up over here is that it focuses on the specific attack. So this is for specific archer attack, this is specific for mounted attack, this is specific for ground attack, as well as has a lot of ground HP. Is it HP? Yes, HP, and some defense, because that is important for your ground. And then for siege, you have siege attack. And then for wall, there's this choreo. Okay, what do you get? When you get the weapon, when you get all 6 pieces, as you know, you get a 2 set buff, you get a 4 set buff, or a 6 out of 6 set buff. And here you can also select what sets you have accomplished. And you will see their buffs as well. They add up all down here for you, and you can compare that. So I'm bringing this one up because this is set up for the strongest archer attack, strongest mounted attack, ground attack, and siege attack, as I said. And if you want to set up your PvP for attack, which most players do, this is the set of gear that you probably want to look into. I think the only gear that kind of threw me off, I forgot which one it was. I believe it was the boots. The boots were set to Ares. You'll see when you download it yourself that this was set to Ares. And Ares is not a civilization piece. I understand. And I think it was set because it does have a lot of mounted buffs. But I think when I selected the Plantagenet piece here, it does have a decent amount of mounted buffs, as well as you get the 2 out of 6 set buff as well, and that is giving you 15% attack buff all around for all troop types. So in addition to the 30% that you get here, it is another 15, so it's 45% attack buff, as well as 15% HP buff. That's why I went with the Plantagenet. You can compare this yourself with the Ares piece, with the piece that comes with this when you download it. You can look into this yourself. But honestly, just the way that you're using this is pretty simple. You just select your general. If you don't quite know what you have on your general, you can just pull it up. If you know what they have, you can just put it in the way that you have it. In my case, it is pretty simple, and on my ground general, I have the Aztec set, and I have the complete set. As you can see, I have 6 out of 6, so I don't need to show you all 6 of them. But let's compare the Aztec set to the ground set that is set up here. So it's really simple to use. You just click on the drop down, the buffs are linked to it. And because it is the full set of 6, I get the 2 out of 6, the 4 out of 6, and the 6 out of 6 buffs. So now, if I want to compare this piece, here, let's go back over. If I want to compare my set to the ground set that is higher up, let's look at the ground buffs that I'm getting. that is 220 attack buff, 95 defense, and 175 HP. If I compare it to this one right here, it's 275 attack buff, 137 defense, and 182 HP. So significantly higher when you select different pieces. So I might in the future look into getting the other pieces. I think I have some pieces already. I just need to reorganize my civilization gear, and I'm not mad that I got the full set of this piece, the full set of the Aztec gear, because down the road I do want to get a second ground general pair so that I have a ground general to run PvP marches as well as one to reinforce. So let me make it a little easier to compare these two. I'm just gonna delete these. I can reverse it here. As I already showed, the main buffs that we're looking at are the ground buffs. Okay, and then debuffs. What debuffs do we have? Debuffs are fairly similar. This one has a few more debuffs down low against archers. Nothing against mounted, nothing against ground, and then siege. Okay. Very spread across, kind of like this one up here. What you get with the complete set of the Aztec gear is march size increase. What you get with this one as well, this is usually coming from the ring. But then with the complete set buff, you also get rally capacity. And I think rally capacity as a rally leader is really important. So that's why I have gone with the full set, because I'm the main rally leader in my alliance. But if you are a rally joiner, or if you're more of a solo player, this is probably a decent set to go for if you want to go for this. The Aztec weapon, Aztec armor, Furinkazan boots, N29 helmet, N29 leg armor, and the Furinkazan ring. So you can decide for yourself what pieces of gear you want to look into. I just wanted to show you this. Here, let's reverse this. I just wanted to show you this spreadsheet because it is so helpful, just making your first decision. And as you can see, it does not have any of the stars that you can add to. But when you're first starting out this and selecting your civilization gear, this is really helpful. And then you can go back to the other spreadsheet that I was showing you from Seer and utilize that, compare a little more specific sets, and you can add stars. So really helpful resources that are easily accessible to you guys. Make sure you use them. So I did find this spreadsheet in my many spreadsheets that I have downloaded, and I just wanted to show you guys this one right here now that I can actually work with it. It was set to, I don't think I did add this, this was just the way that I downloaded it. And you can, I didn't mention that before, but you can actually add refines as well. For Choreo, it might be a little tricky to do that because you are using different types, so you can't just select ground, ranged, mounted, or siege unless you actually have it that way. And if you have mounted and it's flat, you can't really use it as flat as well. Then it has advanced refinements. However, I believe it actually does not include when you add a number to the percents. Let's say it is 27.8%, that's what you got. That's on the choreo, well, doesn't really matter, but it doesn't really add it anyway here. I'm not seeing it change the numbers, as well as there is no normal number down here since it's 0.8. So it didn't really add your refinements to your buffs. So I'm not quite sure if this is all that helpful to have. Kind of nice, but it's not linked as it appears. And then you can add the stars. I think the stars should be linked. Let's change this to 10 stars. Yes, it does change. So if you look at this number down here, for example, I mean, you can look at the other ones too, but this one right here, if I change the stars, it does actually change the buffs right here. So changing the star level will help you define your buffs, but the refines, I believe, are not linked. Also, if you can select the troop type, it doesn't give you the option in defining if it was for attack, defense, or HP. However, it should be linked to the specific piece. So the weapon here, let's put this back to 0. The weapon does have, or does add to your attack, so does the ring. So let's see if that actually helps. If that's mounted, we can look over here. A number should pop up to at the mounted buff. If I add 27.8 over here, and it does not. So yeah, the refines are not linked. That's unfortunate, but I'm also not a spreadsheet guru, so I won't be able to change that. But otherwise, it is still very nice. So you can look into this for yourself. You can use both spreadsheets side by side. Still very helpful. Always love the resources that people provide. The other thing I noticed is actually not part of any of the spreadsheets that I just showed you, is a buff that you get when you own the set. And I think in a previous video I did show this one down here before. So let's go to the Aztec set. This is the set, and I get another 15% ground troop attack, defense, and HP. And that is not calculated into the set that I did show you there. It still is not going to get as high as the mixed set that is shown on the spreadsheet, but what this one does, it is always active. It is active in defense and offense. It's always active. It does not say when marching. It says when owning this set. You don't have to equip this set as is. So me having this set, this full set, gives me the 15% extra. So if I eventually switch over to the mixed set, I get even more out of the percent than what is on the spreadsheet. So let's keep the 15 in mind. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. So just by owning the set, as I said, I get another 15% that would add it up to 235%. This one would go all the way up to 290%. So don't disregard a full set if you have the opportunity to get it, if it actually helps you. You can utilize the other pieces if you're not using them on one general. You can put them on a different general. They're always helpful for something, be it debuff, be it for a different type of march. You can always utilize a piece of gear in a different way. So I hope I touched on everything. The different sets: archer, mounted, ground, and siege. You can look, oh yeah, I deleted that. Let me go back real quick. Siege and then defense are all on here. I don't really need to go into detail as to what they're all about. You can look into this yourself. You can, like I said, on this general one down here, you can add what you have, compare it to a set that is up here, see how close you are, if you want to keep that, and make sure you add the set buffs. Keep the owning set buff in mind, what I was talking about, the 15%. Of course, it's always different. This one right here, it's always different for every full set that you get. Just look through the sets. And yeah, share with your alliance. Share this resource of the C5 library with your alliance. Make sure you look through all the tabs that are out there. So helpful. And like if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video.